everyone for coming today. We're here because we are concerned about the appointment by the governor, who is clearly a member of the 1%, of Senator Martinez's son, as we call him, the Silver Spoon Kid. And we would like everyone in the public to know that this is not what democracy looks like. This is what a government which is bought and paid for by money looks like, that is going on in the county commission at 1 o'clock today. We want to urge, we came to kind of stand in witness to this misrepresentation of democracy, and we're urging all of the public to be aware that democracy is being subverted by money, which is an influence peddling at the highest levels. When the governor of Florida, who is clearly a multimillionaire and a member of the 1%, is appointing another member of the 1%, the Silver Spoon Kid, it is not right. Ms. Rios Andino has frequently mentioned and notes that the time has come for a Boricua, a Puerto Rican, to represent this district, which is very strongly Puerto Rican, and that it is time to have representation, not just taxation of the community. You want to say something?
We make up over a quarter of the community. Boricuas are all United States American citizens. We have fought in all the wars that this country has been, starting with American Revolutionary War, and we pay millions of dollars in taxes here, and we are simply tired of not being represented. We want representation for our community, for our children. We want our representation now. We don't want to wait 10 more years from now. We want it now.
Justice for all. Justice for all.
¿Ustedes están realizando la protesta simplemente porque John Martinez no es puertorriqueño? Si fuera puertorriqueño, ¿estarían protestando?
No, lo que pasa es que él ni siquiera vive en nuestro distrito, él no está envuelto en los asuntos que afectan nuestro distrito. Es un insulto cuando 3 puertorriqueños solicitaron el puesto del comisionado del distrito 3 y ninguno fueron seleccionados. Y esto no solo pasó con el gobernador Scott, también pasó con el gobernador Charlie Crist. Ya el abuso tiene que parar, el boricua tiene que despertar, los latinos tenemos que despertar, porque aquí estamos pagando millones en impuestos y no tenemos ningún tipo de representación.
Okay, and if we can go, Mr. James Q. Mitchell is here, a longtime community leader, and Mr. Mitchell represents the African American community, which is in support of the Puerto Rican and Hispanic community's desire to see justice in government.
Right. We have had one of the worst things to happen to the Hispanic community is when the county commission and the school board did not create the districts for them. They have the numbers, but they ignored the people and did nothing. If this is what our government want us to believe that they represent us, they do not. And they will continue to do this unless we get them out of office.
Yeah, Mr. Head, what are you hoping inside the chamber?
All we're doing inside the chamber is observing the swearing in of the new Commissioner Martinez. Mr. Martinez is not qualified for this job. He has not been in the community. He is not a leader. He does not live in the community, and it is shameful that the governor has chosen this individual to represent a community which is not represented by him.
So you're hoping for a reversal?
When you see a lot of political candidates and candidates who have little or no experience. So is that the biggest thing that would concern you, or is it a cultural and political difference between that and the Puerto Rican community?
I think this group does not believe that this would happen in another community. It is because they have no respect for the Puerto Rican and Hispanic community in this town that they are willing to put this man, who is completely inexperienced, the second replacement we have seen, who is not representative of the community, to replace Mildred Fernandez.
So let's say he's sworn in today. What's your expectations going forward, right?
I believe that the first thing we will ask him to do is to move to reconsider the redistricting vote, which this county commission passed by a 4-3 vote. One vote's changed on that. We'll bring the issue back before the commission, and we will ask them to do that tomorrow.
Doug, can you address critics who say that this community should just accept, that Hispanic is Hispanic, and that they have a Hispanic leader in District 3, and that a Cuban can represent Puerto Rico?
I'll let Mr. Soto respond to that. Representative Darren Soto.
Well, I think it's pretty clear, while we have a major Hispanic community here, that the dominant culture is the Puerto Rican culture. And while that does not necessitate that we have a Puerto Rican put in the commission, we do need at least someone who has been in this community, knows it door by door, neighborhood by neighborhood. And that's where we see the biggest problem. We don't have a problem if it was another Hispanic from another culture, but the knowledge of the community and the respect for the Puerto Rican community is really what this is about, regardless of whether we're talking about a Hispanic Cuban, whether we're talking about a Hispanic Puerto Rican or another culture. And that's really the biggest disappointment. That and the fact that there has been no history of community involvement before now. How are you going to lead us if you don't know us? And that's really where the biggest gripe is.
Usted como representante estatal de todos sabemos su manera de pensar al gobernador y a la alcaldesa Jacobs.
Sí, yo creo él necesita tener una nominación, una persona quien sabe la comunidad. Y esta persona, yo creo, tiene muchas conexiones, pero yo no sabía. Yo no veo a él en la comunidad. Y cómo puede tener un líder en nuestra comunidad si usted no sabe nuestra comunidad. Y este está el punto más importante para nuestra comunidad. Y nosotros estamos puertorriqueños, pero nosotros estamos junto con cubanos y otras culturas, pero en el fin nosotros necesitamos una persona que sabe nuestra comunidad y en esta nominación está obvio, está conexiones que está más importante de la comunidad.
I just want to also let everyone know that this is a clear reflection of the silver spoon phenomenon, where people with connections and access to power continue to try to control the political process, and money continues to try to control the political process. The members of Occupy Orlando are here today in support of the alliance because they recognize that money can no longer control the process as it has today.
Can I get your correct spelling, sir? Name?
James Q. Mitchell, MITCHELL.
And Trinidad Quiroz, who is an Ecuadorian, not a Puerto Rican, is a leader of the Alliance for Justice.
And I would like to say that the Puerto Ricans in the Latino District 2, which are 70,900, won that seat for Puerto Rico, Mildred Fernandez. For whatever reason, she is not there, but that seat belongs to the Puerto Ricans and the Latinos. It's an insult. No one will go with that. We demand that we be respected and no longer be treated as third-class citizens.
Justice for all.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to go inside and observe the swearing in.
When do we want it?
Now!
Right behind you.
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Justice!
Justice!
Now!